Hi, this is Nick Williford and Manos Berlakis, presenting case 209 for the Manual of Percutaneous Coronary Interventions. This is a case of left main occlusion after aortic valve replacement. The patient was an elderly gentleman who 10 years prior had aortic valve replacement as well as replacement of the ascending aorta. He now came with infective endocarditis, requiring repeat replacement of the aortic valve with a 27 mm Edwards valve. Unfortunately, after the valve replacement, his LV was essentially asystolic. He was placed on VA-ECMO and an intra-aortic balloon pump and was sent for emergent coronary angiography. Because there was an arterial cannula on the right femoral and the balloon pump on the left femoral, we decided to go radial, which was challenging, getting all the way to the heart. What made it even worse is the previous stenting aortic replacement. It was very hard to advance catheters through the aorta, but eventually we delivered an ICARI left 4.0 into the aortic root, and a non-selective injection confirmed what was suspected, which is that the left main has occluded. We switched this for an EBU 3.25 guide catheter. Once again, we have a left main occlusion, which explains the patient's hemodynamic compromise. The problem is that getting to the coronary was extremely challenging. We used a guide extension and various guide wires. Even though we did not really have good engagement of the coronary, we're trying to advance the wire into the coronary, being partially engaged, and eventually, after multiple attempts, a pilot 200 seems to be advancing along the course of the vessel. And now we do see some faint filling into the coronary artery, likely the circumflex. We were able to advance a small 2.0 mm balloon, and now we finally start seeing some flow going into the coronary arteries. However, there was severe disease, likely dissection of the left main, goes into the circumflex, goes into the LAD. So the question is what to do next. We did some more ballooning, but once again, we do have this diffuse disease of the left main and the LAD. The treatment for dissection is to put stents, but the problem here is we have a dissection of the left main that is propagating to the circumflex and the LAD, so we have a bifurcation next to the area of dissection. We also see here that the balloon pump was really not placed in the right position. It's way down in the descending aorta. And this is a spider saw that opens things up a little bit. Again, left main issues going into the circ. The LAD looks hazy as well. Multiple big branches coming out of these vessels. We switched our pilot 200 for a workhorse guide wire using a small microcatheter, a fine cross M3. And then we decided to stent with a two-stent strategy. And because of the 90-degree angulation between the left main, LAD, and the circumflex, we decided to use a T-stent approach. So this was a 3/0 by 15 mm drug-eluting stent, which we put, we thought, all the way into the left main. This provided a nice result, but we still have disease into the ostia of this large first obtuse marginal, the second obtuse marginal, also the mid-circumflex, so still some issues to deal with over here. There remains likely dissection on the left main and to some extent into the LAD. Getting more wires there was challenging, but we were able to get some wires and get some balloons. But now, after doing that, we've lost completely flow into the LAD. So we decided to stent that. We placed a long 3.0 mm drug-eluting stent going all the way from the left main into the LAD. And by doing that, we hoped we were going to have a good result, but unfortunately, what happened is that we lost now the circumflex. We did proximal optimization, then used a dual loop microcatheter, but getting into the circumflex was pretty complex. Eventually, using a Sion Black guide wire, we were able to get back into that second obtuse marginal branch. Balloons would not go, but eventually a 1.0 millimeter subfire made it all the way and restored some flow. But now we have still a large filling defect within the proximal circumflex with poor flow down the branches, and we almost lost the first obtuse margin. So very challenging. And what made it extremely challenging in this case was the small guide catheter, the poor support to exchange the microcatheters. We had to essentially extend the guide wires. We had to use a trapeze more proximally. It was extremely challenging delivering and removing equipment into the coronary arteries. Once again, dual loop microcatheter, trying to get the wire into the right branches, which was very challenging. During the process to deliver, we lost again everything, so we're starting from scratch. Now we have difficulties delivering the balloons, but eventually we do have some improvement. This was part of the problem. We are radial, the guides are prolapsing, not very good support at all. And despite all that, now we've lost the flow again into the circumflex. So what to do next? At this point, we've done several rewiring, several balloons, could not deliver a stent. It did not look very promising. But we decided that the issue here was support, and we needed to get better support, and this was not going to happen with a 6 French guide. So we placed a grand slam all the way to the apex, and then removed the 6 French guide, and then over the same grand slam guide wire, we upsized the sheath on the right radial to a 7 French, and placed the 7 French EBU guide. And this time we have a 7 French guide extension. Our support dramatically increased. Still, it was not easy. We had difficulties getting the wires into the circumflex, obtuse marginal branch. But after multiple rewiring using polymer jacketed wires, we were able to get the wire in the right place. We had difficulty delivering balloons. We used repeatedly the knock on the door technique. Push as much as you can, inflate, deflate, then advance again, inflate again, and sometimes by doing this back and forth, the balloon will go a little further down, and again a little better predilatation, but still the flow remained poor. We used a dual lumen microcatheter once again to get a wire from the OM1 now down to the distal circumflex, and this eventually was successful. And now again start having some flow. The flow gets lost. Again, this happened over the course of multiple hours, multiple attempts. But eventually, what made the solution is we were able to inchworm a guide extension 6 French into the circumflex. And after doing that, we now were able to deliver a drug-eluting stent from the left main into the circumflex. The stent was repositioned after removing the guide extension all the way from the left main. And then we were able to deploy it. We're concerned from M1, but we decided we just had to do it. And fortunately, after doing that, now we do have good flow going down the circumflex. We still have maintained OM1, OM2, distal circumflex. And after rewiring the LAD, we did kissing balloon inflation and had a nice final result. The right coronary artery looked diffusely diseased, but at this point the patient was on multiple vasopressors. We repositioned the intra-aortic balloon pump. However, the hemodynamics were not very good with a wedge of 25, so the balloon pump was removed, and with extreme difficulty, we were able to advance an Impella CP device through the fresh valve into the left ventricle. So the patient survived despite the very critical illness. It took a long time. Several lessons from this case. The first one is that for any PCI, especially complex PCI, having strong support is key to success. In this case, a 6 French guide, a 6 French guide extension limits a lot the options, provides very poor support, makes everything very difficult. Second, dual lumen microcatheters were critical for wiring through bifurcations. In this case, the Sasuke was used repeatedly for wiring into the circumflex, and it was a big part of the success. Strong when the turning moment in this case was after several hours and having failed to get back into the circumflex, using the bigger guide, using a long, supportive Grand Slam guide wire to deliver a bigger guide in, that's really what allowed us to be successful in the end. Now, one could argue that if we had placed the original stent further back into the left main, or had we used a DK cross, things might have been easier from the get-go, and this is fairly possible. However, it is what it is, and we had to deal with what was going on during the case, which illustrates the importance of persistence in challenging cases like this until we have a good outcome. Thank you.